So, dear and respected friend, thank you so much for your kind participation. And I request you to kindly mute yourself so that we can avoid disruptions. And today is a very special day. Today is a birth anniversary of Kamla Bhasin. She is one of the famous poet, inspiring soul. And today marks the birthday of uh, my dear Kamla Bhasin. She has left us last year only. And this poetry recitation session is a kind of a small tribute to a great stalwart of women's right. So we welcome today's Professor Gree will join, Minati Pradhan and all our viewers from YouTube and Facebook platform. Let me give a brief introduction to our resource person. Meenakshi Goswami is the principal of CNS Higher Secondary School, Tezpur, Sonitpur, Assam. Is a member of Northeast Writers Forum. She is also into sports organizations and anchoring at various functions. She has been awarded International Women's Day 2007 by Association on India's Republic Day 2019 by Government of Assam for her dedicated service towards human resource, arts, culture. She has written many poems published in very important journals all over the India and the globe. And she has also participated in many international poetry festivals. Her poems are now published in many multilingual anthologies. So, on behalf of Swadhyay Sahachakra, we welcome you, madam, to this Swadhyay Sahachakra dialogue. And we are going to hear an insightful feminist poem from you. Let me give a brief introduction to our Swadhyay Sahachakra. Swadhyay Sahachakra is a circle of self and mutual studies. It is an initiative of studying and learning together self, culture, societies, and the world. Friends associated with this are eager to walk and mediate with new horizons of thinking and new movements of social and cultural change at work in our contemporary world. We study seekers such as Sri Aurobindo, Mahatma Gandhi, Chitranjan Das, a creative thinker from Orissa, and many others from around the world. We also present our own writing that reflects upon our creativity together. We also invite seekers from different fields of life to share with us their life's vision, sadhana, and a struggle for creating a world of beauty, dignity, and dialogue. Uh, and we every Sunday or sometimes on Wednesday, we invite people from across the world to share with their experience lives. So following that tradition, today we have invited Meenakshi Goswami ji. Meenakshi Goswami ji, on behalf of Swadhyay Sahachakra, we welcome you. And now I invite you to recite some of your poetry. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible first and foremost? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay. So, namaskar. And I'm really honored for this Viswneeedam Center for Asian Blossoming here. Yes, I met Dr. Randhir Gautam in Chandigarh in a World Poetry Conference there. And since then, we have been in touch. And yes, poetry unites. Poetry unites. And I love writing poetry, though by profession, I'm into teaching. This is my 32nd year, 32 years running. I'll be completing 32 years in the same school. Initially, I was a PGT English. And then for the last 5 years, I have been the principal. So I had a school, senior secondary school, huge responsibilities. But in spite of that, I do write poems. So because poetry, you can say poetry is when an emotion has found in thought and a thought has found words. I have no formal education in writing poetry. So I just can't tell you highly philosophical sounding reason why I write. Yes. Yet I write, and I write irrespective of whether people find it interesting or not. That's my pleasure of writing. Poetry is somewhat that comes naturally to me. When I write poems, I don't generally write them. Words often come into my mind, like an incident might replay in your head years after it's happened. This happens anytime when I'm free from work and lying on bed, or maybe doing some work. I like to feel that my writing poetry, I let go of the feelings, the words stuck inside me, and that were taking up mental and emotional space. So if I listen to a song, the words start playing in my mind. So loop, I sit down and jot on a paper. It's a natural self-expression, an outlet for caged feelings, and much more. So I write poetry even when I get angry. And it's the best way to express my emotion in a sophisticated, short, and yet appealing way. So without wasting much time, with due honor, with due respect, and my humble tribute to the great poet Kamla Bhasin. So let me recite few of my, I cannot say that I'm an out and out feminist, but yes, since I am a feminine, so definitely something feminine is here. So my first poem, Randhir, am I audible? Is it okay?
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay, okay. So the title of my first poem is Femme the Force. The title of my poem is Femme the Force. The screen, I think, is shared by Randhir. Okay. Born and taught in this world, educated on everything by superior beings, minds molded and shaped like clay, and taught to behave. Though she knows how much she is capable of, yet she faces humiliation and exploitation. We place her as the divine, yet rape her and defile. Now she knows she has to save herself first. She has imperfections, but imperfections make her flawlessly gorgeous. She learns, she admits, she accepts, she rejects, she loves, she strives, she cries, she apologizes, she inspires, she has dreams. She is the queen of her world. She conquers her fears and asserts equal treatment and right. Yes, a little appreciation. Bonjour, madame. Thank you. This is the first poem. So should I carry on with my second poem, or anything to be said by the audience?
Yes. Yes, please carry on.
Okay, yes. Okay. So my second poem, again into something feminine. Sherry, The title of my next poem is Sherry. When I look across the skies and ponder, is it a dream or a wonder? So they said that she was the prettiest lady in the town, a blue-eyed princess. Every step she took was like feathers sparkling in a cloud. Dazzling skies, dazzling across the sky. Yes, she was the one with a perfect soul and every man's dream. Every time she whispered a kiss in the air, the ambience of love, and there she was, the love of his life, quiet but sensitive, with 2 brown eyes. She was his undisputed priority, the overwhelming love of truth and trust. Oh, is it a dream or is it a wonder to picture myself soaring across the skies? Thank you. That was the second poem. So,
Thank you. Beautiful.
Should I move on with my third one?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Again, a feminine poem, Señorita. My third poem is Señorita. She was a dreamer and trusted science might lift humankind above itself. Her confidence immovably secured in the people on the planet Earth. She had faith in things she could touch and smell. Yet she has now started pondering noisily about the plausibility of God. Her father was a monk. Past this, her childhood is dark to him. If she was blissful or confused or not discontent, one could never make sure. Untrusting specialist, she was diagnosed, sedated, and operated. But at consistent interims with a pointed apparatus, she tunneled into her own particular ears, maybe to stifle the commotion of all that was off. From her lips poured a limitless torrent of thoughts, the majority of which he had listened, for she was his heart and soul. She said, I might half tune in, fantasizing, unassailable replies, unburied, undignified, unsold, arranging splendid escapes while I squirmed in my seat. Thank you. This was the third poem. So I would like to listen something. How about these poems? I just want to listen a feedback, Randhir.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Minati ji.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful, very nice. I just did not want to interrupt her, so I thought, okay, let her finish so that I can give the feedback.
Okay, okay. Let me. Can I continue with my next poem?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, Minati ji, this I find it very interesting. Here I go. The title of the poem is Surreptitious Smile. The title of my poem is Surreptitious Smile. Tired of smiling, yet I wear it all the time. No one knows it's forced or fake. I feel lonely counting sheep when the whole world sleeps. And as I lie alone in my bed, listening to a distant flute plaintively weeping and wailing, the uncanny darkness stabs and shatters my ethereal dreams into splinters. And as the night coagulates, my eyes dampen with tears of despair, of regret, of hurt. But the counterfeit smile on my lips hide it all. None is there to wipe those dewdrops, for oh, no one knows. They can't go beyond my smile to reach my tears, which are contained and never flow down. I was tainted by dark since long. I tried to shine through like the sun behind the clouds, but the thick black blanket swallows me full. There's no light encroaching my shadow. Behind the veiled darkness, we are close together, yet poles apart. The moon peeps in through the broken window pane as I try to shed my tears to drain my eyes dry, but it seems I've lost the rhythm of my life. No shoulder to rest my tired head while I try unsuccessfully to wipe off my smile that refuses to get eclipsed and continues to stand guard to keep my tears encapsulated and captive within my eyes. Thank you. That was Surreptitious Smile.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Thank you so much. So Randhir, what's
Yes.
next?
One more.
One
And
more.
then I will invite Minati ji, and then again I will invite for 3 poems.
Okay. So again, I don't say a feminist, but yet again, another one. The Enigmatic Empress. The title of my next poem is The Enigmatic Empress. Alone she wanders into the woods, deeper and deeper, searching for a destination she desires for, followed by a goblin behind she is unaware of. Swirling her gown with a radiant smile, steering herself amongst the wayward crowd, charms them swiftly with her magical eyes, adored by lads, luded by the maidens. The lady in red in the game of the cards, so calm and composed, personified by grace, her full glory and might outshines them all. As the red hue sets down, unexpected, she met with the cults. Her eyebrows turn into a frown. Queen of Woods, then she becomes. Her life filled with mystery brings her back to her empire, a bloodline so strong and pure, the crown awaits for her to rule. Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now,
My pleasure.
Now, Minati ji, please hold our hand. And Minati ji is a very creative poet from Odisha. And today we are dedicating our poetry session to a great stalwart of women's rights, feminist voice, that is Kamla Bhasin ji. So I request Minati Pradhan ji to share some of her poems in order to dedicate Kamla Bhasin ji. Yes, Minati Pradhan ji.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Randhir, so much for your generous introduction. So, as Ma'am Meenakshi said, when something stirs inside, it comes out on the pen and paper. So mostly I write the poetry, what I observe around me. And in this process, I don't know when I have gone into the bracket of feminism, because that was there within me from the childhood. So here goes my first poem, Quite Loud. It is not about from the childhood onwards what we hear and what we practice. what we are taught about and what is really what we have heard and what we see in reality, how different it is totally. So that is, it goes like this. White lies. Life is beautiful, you told me. It is a virtue to be born as a woman. You told me life is beautiful. It is a virtue to be born as a woman. Every divine feminine energy is within me. The Shakti I do possess. The Shakti I do possess, then why don't I have the power to eradicate the demons? That they tear me apart, burn to ashes, and blame me for their every evil fault. You said woman personifies Lakshmi. You said woman personifies Lakshmi. Do I have the basic needs to live the life with dignity? And you also said Saraswati resides in my soul. Have you noticed? Have you noticed why then the darkness of ignorance keeps engulfing our clan? Every single day, life is a challenge. Fight from womb to tomb. Fight to be born, fight to live, and fight for every right. In your every word, I find a lie. In your every word, I find a lie, like the false slogans of our times. Fingers crossed, hoping they all will come true. Thank you. This is the first
Beautiful,
point.
beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful, Minati.
Carry on.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you. The second one is about that domestic violence. Domestic violence, when you watch in every, what you say, it's from the every stage of the society. I mean, I should say every background of the society. That is the muted sparrow. Oh, I lean on the balcony railings to look at the sparrows. I leaned on the balcony railings to look at the sparrows sitting in a straight row and enjoy their hopping around. At times, to listen to the chirps of the bulbul also. Whenever our eyes met, we exchanged the hearty smiles. Whenever our eyes met, we exchanged the hearty smiles. As I cannot speak her tongue, her sweet gestures and bright smile mesmerized me very often, creating a connection from within. Today, she avoided the eye contact. Still, I could see her tears, her swollen eyelids, her bruised arms, felt her heavy heart, listened to her unspoken words and everything that looked so gloomy. The sparrows were chirping. The sparrows were chirping to entice me to observe them. I asked them to be quiet. Something was boiling inside me. You just better be quiet. I need it too. You just better be quiet. I need it too. I need to think. I need to think of the next steps. Thank you.
Beautiful. Superb.
Thank you.
Superb. It's so vivid. So vivid. Really.
So, Randhir, shall I read
Yes,
some other
sure.
points also?
Yes, one more, then I will invite Meenakshi ji.
That somewhere this was the title was there, Women, Peace and War. So it just stirred me that not that we are what we are seeing in the war scenario. A woman's life is every day is a war. So it is a eternal war. So every woman, how biologically we face all the problems. So it is about that. It is eternal war. I am not a soldier. I am not a soldier. Still, I am a hero in a silent war. To see the embryo bloom as flower. The monarch, the newfound youth, the curiosity and frequent stains, and the unknown fear. The postpartum anxiety and sleepless nights, burden of all the responsibilities and all shadows of monsters. Fighting for the pay parity, Me Too, and other atrocities. fighting for pay parity, Me Too, and other atrocities, everyone empowering women, known to teach the men how to cooperate. Then comes menopause. Menopause comes as a wave of ocean, creating havoc in preserved health, stealing away a long-earned peace. We, the women at constant war. We, the women at constant war, to make peace forever. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Minati ji.
Wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
you really invoked a very deep sense of feminism.
Yeah.
And the last one is, I think, best. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to invite again Meenakshi Goswami ji to share our remaining poem. Please.
Okay, now let me come to me. The title of my next poem is Me. It is in my book only, Randhir. It's in my book, Waltzing Words only, page number 35. Page number 35. The title of my poem is Me. Yes, there lies the beauty deep within me. I can't help but being just me and no one else. The tantalizing thing about feeling in extremes is when I love, I give the wings to soar high beyond the clouds. But perhaps that isn't fair to me. They always tend to swoop on me to torture and pull out my tissues, like the vultures do, and leave me broken and shattered. But I don't grieve. Though I break into pieces and cannot be put together once again, and the jigsaw puzzle remains unsolved. Is this what we get from the mortals? Do you know how limiting that is, to think that at such a ripening age, I'd experienced the most exhilarating person I had ever met, and who perhaps can put me back into one hole? I lose my zone of reasoning, and perhaps by the logic of love, nothing I observe tells us the truth. Turn till you read me as it was originally written. Turn me over again and again till you know the real me, and give a new meaning to my helpless paradox, where both the light and the twilight abandon themselves, blurring all the boundaries and distinctions. Thank you. That is me.
Beautiful.
That is me.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Very beautiful.
Thank you. So should I move to my
next
poem?
Yes.
The Aroma. Basically, I write romantic poems. So somewhere or the other, in spite of having the sense of romanticism there, even humor. Sometimes people question me that how do you look upon humor in poetry? Humor has the capacity to point absurdities about the way we live our lives in a non-threatening way. A humorous poem has the power to point out subtle ironies of life. The truth is that humor contains a grain of truth about life and would not be able to shown through any other medium. So humor is often found in literature, theater, movies, and advertising, where the major purpose is to make the audience happy and grip its attention. We all know that there are several devices that create humor, like hyperbole, exaggeration, incongruity, irony, pun, sarcasm, slapstick, etc. I personally like humor to a limited extent, of course, in poetry. So let me move on to the next poem that I'm going to recite. The Aroma. The title of the poem is The Aroma. soft blush of season, peaks of grandeur, whisper upon the wind, wandering, intoxicated lover, many reasons to live and to rejoice, but only one big moment to live on, and that could be cherished. Thinking and recounting how we met, was it destiny or something else that brought us together? Truth, elude me not. From where had my heart flown to mingle with yours? No words to describe, or could be inscribed as the momentary yet the distinct signature of the ripple on the mirror, still water, consumed by the sweet and fragrant petrichor, as the first drops of the rain get soaked into the soil. We two lovers drenched ourselves in crimson love, while the warmth of our bodies seeped into the sublimation of our souls, and vice versa. The essence of reminiscence still mesmerizes me, though dissolved and overwhelmed somewhere in the ocean of love. I smile to myself, trying to find someone to confide, just to speak aloud and share the moments of ecstasy that we once shared that one and only time. Yes, you were the leaf of love, and I just a drop of passion on it, oscillating and osculating, adding the sheen and shine to our otherwise besmirched and mundane lives. Together into the valley of joy and fulfillment, we dived and lost ourselves in the over-pervading fragrance of the fresh flowers. And as I sit in my study alone on a lazy Sunday afternoon, thinking of you, but have no idea where you may be, or if at all you would be missing me, as much as I do, the aroma still lingers on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was the aroma.
Thank you. This was beautiful.
Very nice.
Very nice. Thank you. So may I invite Minati ji to share at least 2 poems, and then concluding poem Meenakshi Goswami can say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the fourth poem is about the river. Actually, the nature is also feminine. So I thought to add this one as a feminism poem, this one also, and how it is being tortured. So the title of the poem is Nadi, actually. So that is river. You flow. You flow. You are flowing from time immemorial, swiftly and effortlessly, as an ambrosia carrier. You are flowing from time immemorial, swiftly and effortlessly, as an ambrosia carrier, nodding to the swinging of branches on your bank and carrying the chatter of the lovers with the air. The golden rays of setting sun on your fluid chest, the chirping of the birds touching you before returning to their nest. Your serpentine movement looked so elegant. The bridges decorated on your hips like a waistband. Your serpentine move looked so elegant. The bridges decorated on your hips like a waistband. Colorful saris dragged. Many threw a coin. Women, children, and grown-ups all took a dip in the lure of heaven. At times, you were carrying life, hope, joy, and bliss. Just the day before, humans turned so selfish. At times, you were carrying life, hope, joy, and bliss. Just the day before, humans turned so selfish. The lifeline turned smelly with half-burnt corpses and garbage. They dig out sand from your body, making you ugly and damaged. I know your pain. Carrying the sewage from the drain. Changing your routes in vain, and how long can you bear the strain? losing your eternal beauty to the human greed, furiously reminding them all of your need. No one knows in the days to come whether you will disappear. Hey Nadi, hey river, will you remain only in books and photos in the future? Thank you.
Beautiful. Very. So deep, so touching. Yes.
Really
Next.
touching. Minati ji, it's really,
Thank you.
you have spoken out loud and clear. So
Yes.
positive. I mean, you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
So
yes,
one more
Minati
poem.
ji. Next.
Okay, I will read an honor killing. It is no. That is the title of the title of the poem is Buried Seeds. You looked happily at your blood-soaked palms. You looked happily at your blood-soaked palms and had a crooked smile on your face. You also laughed out loud in anticipation of victory. Our good days flew so fast, just like a short-lived dream. We had no clue our love would annoy many. Our good days flew so fast, just like a short-lived dream. We had no clue love would annoy many and would destroy their so-called family status to our agony. You thought you have separated us by strangling and burying him, and our love is since dead. But little did you know, seed has turned into a seedling and it raised its head. It has grown into a huge tree, spreading its roots deeper and branches reaching to the sky so vast, it will create forest in no time. The head erect you at the very first time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Minati Pradhan ji. Thank you so much. Very
Beautiful.
So you want me to last read one poem, so that one I'll do later once.
Okay, okay. Yes, yes. Then you can offer a song of, thanks with this poem. So please, I will invite you at the end. So Meenakshi ji, please share your at least 2 poems.
Okay, 2 of my poems. Okay. So let me move on to my next poem. That was published long years back. It was in my first poem, The Sensuous Zephyr. And let me say one thing. By the way, I don't think that there are some poets who are great or something. Everyone who writes is a poet, and everyone, why does a poet write all these questions? What is your idea of good poetry? If these things come to mind, then poetry is more than words. Poetry is artistic, beautiful, lovely, sad, and inspiring. And real good poetry has the power to change minds. So with change, I mean, there are things that we would like to share through poetry. And yes, whatever we write, it's everything that it's inside us. And my next poem is, I find it very interesting. And by this title, many have written a poem on illusion. Again, the title of my poem is a very common title, Illusion. Many poets have written poems on illusion. So here goes my poem, Illusion, from my book, the first book, if viewers can see, this is The Sensuous Zephyr. It was released in Melbourne, Australia, way back in 2014. So this is Sensuous Zephyr, and from that I'm reading Illusion. It was a very old poem of mine. Am I drifting away from my present? Unchaining myself from relationships. I'm intoxicated by something more than wine, because to love is frightening. We prefer the freedom of our crimes, yet as I drink the dusky air, I feel a strange delight that fills me full. strange gratitude, as if evil itself were beautiful, leaving indelible scars to remind me of him, vast as the sea, light as feather, brushing against my cheek, whispering words that has only meaning only to my ears. Lifting the veil of darkness, he helps to see me the naked truth. Surrounded by mist and world full of unanswered questions, ironic, he feels the same tinge of pain, garnished with longings. Thunder and lightnings startle me. The feeling strangely beautiful. I have a sudden inkling. Are they nightmares or my poetic license to boundless freedom? Perfect and mystical. His eyes and thoughts haunted me for days. I realize he is what I have made him, an illusion like any other, brilliantly meaningless. I realize he is what I have made him, an illusion like any other, brilliantly meaningless. Thank you,
Great.
Randhir.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank
And should I move on to my last poem?
Yes.
If time permits, I'll carry on, but as of
Yes,
now,
yes,
I'll say that
yes.
this is my last poem.
Yes, yes.
This is by the title of the book itself, The Sensuous Zephyr. The title of my poem is Sensuous Zephyr. The title of the book is also The Sensuous Zephyr. So let me go through my poem. Whom did I meet? Whom did I feel? Whose voice do I hear? Over the mountains and over the waves, under the fountains and in the alfresco, under the floods that are deepest, over the rocks that are steepest. Ah, but I know my love will find it out. My passion with your love grew while Cupid at my heart, it definitely preferred you, that it threw a new flaming dart. Was it a déjà vu? A heart as soft, a heart as kind, that heart, I'll give it to you. But who's the smiling stranger? His eager voice whispered the puzzle of his bleeding thirst. This is different. This was altogether something different. Though he never spoke aloud, get this, it has something to do with his heart. So why? Why then should I seek further and still make my love anew? Shall my foolish heart be pined? Oh no, my dear. After long ages, I'm sure all our love will breeze more beautiful than ever. After long ages, I'm sure, definitely, I'm sure, all our love will breeze more beautiful than ever. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you so much.
How was it?
Yes.
It was very nice.
Yes. Now, Minati
Thank you.
please, you are invited to share your poetry.
Nobody else is there to read, like Meera ma'am or something. You can read one of your poems. This it came in Being Alienation. That one poetry came. That one you can read. Randhir, I'm talking
Yes,
to you
others
only.
can. Yeah,
Yes.
others can share their views
If
also.
anybody wants to
Randhir,
share,
tell others to share how they feel.
Yes.
That will be more interesting, a bit interactive.
Because
I
many
think
of our
in Facebook,
friends
many are in Facebook. Some
Yes.
are in Facebook. They are watching live in Facebook.
Yes,
In
yes,
YouTube
yes.
too.
In
Yeah.
no, only on Facebook. So
On
we
Facebook.
cannot have live chat session.
Yeah. Okay.
So we
Okay.
can,
From Facebook, you won't be able. Okay.
Yes,
But
yes,
those who are here in the chats,
yes,
you can
they
ask
can
them
share.
some.
Yes, Paul Mark, you can share your view. Castellio, kindly unmute yourself. and share your view.
Hallmark del Castillo. Yes,
Okay.
would love.
I think he is taking some time. Yes. Please share your poetry, or I share one poetry, and we are recalling and remembering Kamla Bhasin ji. So Kamla Bhasin ji, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes,
you are
yes.
audible.
So Kamla
Yes, you are audible.
Kamla Bhasin ji wrote a poetry, and she often called herself that I'm a Chavanya poetry, that I'm not a poet, but just for the sake of communication and love of my poetry, I'm doing poetry. So she wrote a poetry, and today I'm going to share her poetry, which I like so much. A father asked his daughter, study. Why should you study? I have sons aplenty who can study. Girls, why should you study? For my dreams to take flight, I must study. Knowledge brings new light, so I must study. For the battle I must fight, I must study. Because I am a girl, I must study. To fight men's violence, I must study. To end my silence, I must study. To challenge patriarchy, I must study. To demolish all hierarchy, I must study. Because I am a girl, I must study. To mold a faith I can trust, I must study. To make laws that are just, I must study. To sweep centuries of dust, I must study. To challenge what I must study. Because I am a girl, I must study. This is the last stanza. To know right from wrong, I must study. To find a voice that is strong, I must study. To write feminist song, I must study. To make a world where girls belong, I must study. Because I am a girl, I must study. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. This one.
Wonderful, Ranthir. Wonderful. Wonderful, Dr. Ranthir. That's really great indeed.
Yes.
Whether yeah, it is allowed to read, I would feel like reading one Odia poetry. I have not translated into English, but I feel like reading one Odia poetry. Can I?
Yes, please. Yes.
The title of the poetry is Vivarna. Vivarna means discolored. The Vivarna is a poetry about discoloration of women physically and emotionally from the time immemorial to till date. That is like, I hope that everybody can understand. It is almost like Hindi.
Yes.
ଆକାଶରୁ ଖସୁଥିବା ଉଲ୍କାପିଣ୍ଡ ପାହାଡ଼ର ଛାତିରେ ବହ୍ନି ଜଳି ପୋଡ଼ି ପାଉଁଶ ବୁଣନ୍ତି ସଜାଇ ବିବର୍ଣ୍ଣ। ଭୂମିକନ୍ୟା ବି ବିବର୍ଣ୍ଣା ନିଜକୁ ପ୍ରମାଣ କରି କରି ପୃଥିବୀ ବକ୍ଷରେ ଚାରିଆଡୁ ଝଳି ପଡୁଥିବା ଧୂଳି ଧୂସରିତ ଆଖିରେ ଲୁହଧାର ହିଁ ସ୍ପଷ୍ଟ। ପାଷାଣୀର ଛାତିରେ ଜମାଟ ଅନେକ କୋହ, ଜମାଟ ଶିଉଳିରେ ହଜିଯାଏ ଅନେକ ପାଦ ଚିହ୍ନ, କେବଳ ମାତ୍ର ଟିକିଏ ଦିବ୍ୟ ସ୍ପର୍ଶ ପାଇଁ ଯୁଗ ଯୁଗର ଅନନ୍ତ ଅପେକ୍ଷାରେ ବିବର୍ଣ୍ଣା। ଆଖିରେ ଅନ୍ଧପୁଟୁଳି ନିଜକୁ ନ ଦେଖେଇ ପାରିବାର ସେ ବି ତ ବିବର୍ଣ୍ଣା। କଳା ମଚମଚ ଧୂମ ଅନ୍ଧାରରେ। ରାଜକନ୍ୟା ବି ବିବର୍ଣ୍ଣା। ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କଳଙ୍କର ଇତିହାସରେ ନାମ ତାର ଲେଖା। ସେଠି ଛଡା ହୁଏ ଆତ୍ମାରୁ ଶରୀର ପରସ୍ତ ପରସ୍ତ। କେବେ ଲିଭିବ ଏ ବିବର୍ଣ୍ଣ କରିବାର ପରମ୍ପରା, ପ୍ରଭୁତ୍ୱ ଓ ପ୍ରଭୁ ଦାସତ୍ୱର ପ୍ରଥା ଗଢିବାକୁ ଆଉ ଏକ ନ୍ୟାୟସଙ୍ଗତ ଦୁନିଆ। That meant actually, that from the acid attack to acid attack is physically, it just discolors the females, the women, but to Sita, to Ahalya, to Gandhari, to even, like in Odisha, when Kalinga Yuddha was done because of Karubaki. So she was blamed for being. So everybody is emotionally also, everybody throws color and they gets discolor. That was the theme of the poem. So thank you for being patient and listening to my Odia poetry too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I could understand somewhat because as means Bengali and Odia are almost, the same.
Yes, yes.
So here is my last poem I had read before also sometimes. So again, I would like to this occasion to read that. That is Superwoman. Randir, can I?
Yes, yes. This is your last poet.
Yeah. I am a woman, a superwoman. I am a woman, a superwoman. I am Sita. Digging into the depth of my heart, what did you find? Fire or gold? Digging into depth of my heart, what did you find? Fire or gold? The lolling flame of fire that would crack open the earth. I am a woman, a superwoman. I am Ahalya. Did you think I was dumb, a mere stone? True, I have been silent for ages. My wait was for freedom. I am not merely a symbol of patience. I am a woman, a superwoman. I am Draupadi. How loud did you laugh at the cruelty of my undressing out of naked helplessness? Came the determination to eradicate the lineage, echoed every nook and corner of the palace. I am a woman, a superwoman. I am also Surpanakha. I am not afraid of being disfigured, slashing of my nose and ears of my desire. I am not greedy as you are for, lost in the shadow of loss. I am a woman, a superwoman. I am Kali, blazing fire in my eyes. I will burn. I will burn, I will annihilate the demons of injustice from all the ages. I am a woman, a superwoman. I live in every woman. To destroy my existence, you tried 100 times, but I will rise from the ashes and touch the sky. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And really,
Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Randir, I would just want to say something. It is not about, it is not a recitation. It is just once Dr. General Anand asked me in his interview, can you define what lies beyond poetry?
Yes.
It is in this book, it is a 21st century critical thought, a dialogue with postmodern voices. So this is the book where he had taken my, with due honor, and he had taken me, there are lots of questions. One thing that it struck me, can you define, sir asked me, can you define what lies beyond poetry? So I would like to say this is very thing that music lies beyond poetry. Unheard melodies lie beyond even music. Words come much later. Sound lies beyond words. Music produces feelings. Feelings are expressed in images and words. Feelings couched in images and words is poetry, I think. What passion cannot music raise and quell. From vibrations of Om or harmony, this universal frame began. Feelings, thoughts, images, words are endeavors to grasp the primordial harmony. Everything that I love doing in the world with any kind of regularity involves rhythm, repetition, and alteration, pattern and flow. Reading aloud, writing, dancing, swimming, walking, aerobics involves music. Beyond poetry is rhythm. Rhythm teaches us that style is not secondary to meaning. That mastery of grammar is not mastery of style. That good prose is always aware of its internal rhythms, and that a recovery of terms of classical rhetoric is useful for analyzing rhythm. So music is ultimate universe. Uni is one, verse is symphony. So this is beyond poetry. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And it
Randhir.
was a really enlightening session. And Minati ji and you really invoked the very deep humanist insight and beautiful poetry. And I would say, it was very, very heart-touching and so deep. So, Minati ji, please offer a vote of
I, Minati Pradhan, on the behalf of Viswneeedam Center for Asian Blossoming and from Sadhya Sahachakra, I would like to thank our chief speaker today, Ma'am Meenakshi Goswami, for her accepting our request and being the chief guest and the poet, I should say, light of the evening for this beautiful session. It would have been nice if some more people would have joined, but it did not happen.
Yeah.
So,
But
thank you, ma'am, so much for your enlightening poetry and very deep, insightful things. It challenges us to think beyond, really. When I feel when the poem gets over, then only the poetry comes. So that is my personal belief. So thank you so much. I thank our moderator, Professor Anant Kumar Giri, for giving us permission to arrange this type of beautiful webinars. I also thank all our Facebook and Zoom platform participants who have, without them, actually, there is no reading. If there is no audience, there will be no reading. If there is no appreciation, there will be no writing. So thank you all. At the last and not the least, I thank our convener, Professor Randhir Kumar Gautam, for arranging and doing things very meticulously. And thank you. And especially I thank, because my evening became very beautiful listening to Ma'am Meenakshi. And
thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Meenakshi.
So thank you all. Pardon me if I'm forgetting somebody. So everyone, thanks. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. So lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste. It was nice to meet you.
Namaste. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Randhir, my pleasure. Pleasure is all mine. Presenting my poems. Thank you. We shall meet again. Minati ji, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
I would like to thank all the people in Facebook. Those who are in Facebook live, they're watching. I thank them also for being there. Thank you very much. Randhir, are you ending it? Hello?
Hello, Randhir, can you hear us?
Randhir?